Hello good people, I'm going to talk about the circle. A circle is a two-dimensional object where all points on its curved edge, or perimeter, are the same distance from the center. The perimeter of a circle is known as the circumference. A line that passes through the center and connects 2 points on the circumference is known as the diameter, while a line connecting the center with a point on the circumference is the radius. In other words, the radius is half of the diameter. The circumference of a circle is pi times longer than the diameter. This statement can be converted to this convenient formula of c equals pi multiplied by d. Rearranging this formula to make pi the subject gives the actual ratio between the circumference and the diameter. In other words, pi equals circumference divided by the diameter. This in fact is the origin of the value pi. Any circumference divided by its diameter gives the value pi, 3.14159 and so on. Although the diameter is important, we generally prefer to use the radius. And we can say that the circumference of a circle is 2 pi times longer than the radius. This statement is converted to the formula for the circumference, c equals 2 pi r. Now that we have this formula, let me use it in two examples. The first example is asking me to determine the circumference of a circle with a radius of 4.36 meters. A good first step is to write the formula that we will be using. In this case, the formula for the circumference, c equals 2 pi r. Next, I'm going to substitute in for the radius. And now I'm going to use my trusty calculator. I will press 2, and then to get to the pi, I'm going to press Shift, and then this times 10 to the power of x button at the bottom. Finally, I'm going to multiply this by 4.36, the given radius, and when I press equal, it gives me the result of 27.394, and so on. I'm going to round this result to 3 significant figures because the only given measured quantity, the radius, had 3 significant figures. And so the result is 27.4 meters. The second example is asking me to calculate the radius of a circle with a circumference of 12.69 meters. Once again, I'm going to start by writing the formula. As it stands now, the formula solves for the circumference. But I want to solve for the radius, which means I need to do some quick transposing to make r the subject. I need to divide both sides by 2 pi. Here we go. Radius equals circumference divided by 2 pi. And now I'm going to substitute. While I know that you can do this in your head, I'm going to use my trusty calculator. I'm going to use fractional notation. Above the line I have the circumference, 12.69. And below the line, I have 2 pi. Once again, to get to pi, Shift, and then this times 10 to the power of x button. And the result is 2.0196, and so on. Considering that the given circumference had 4 significant figures, I'm going to round the radius to 4 significant figures. This means that the length of the radius is 2.017 meters when rounded to 4 significant figures. Before I bring this fantastic video to a close, I would like to talk about the area of a circle. The formula for the area of the circle is pi r squared. It is a fantastic little formula, but where does it come from? To answer that, we are going to play with this circle. I'm going to divide it into 20 equal wedges or slices. Next, I'm going to take these slices and start stacking them up. So here's one, then the second one, third one, fourth one, and then the rest, all the way up to 20. Now that the slices are stacked up, they look like a rectangle. What are its dimensions? Well, the height is made up of half of the circumference, while the base is the radius. The circumference is the same as 2 pi r. So up here, I'm going to replace this c with 2 pi r. And that will give me 2 pi r divided by 2. And when we mop this fraction up, we will end up with pi r. How does this help us? Well, what was the formula for the area of a rectangle? the area of the rectangle was length multiplied by width, or base times height. In this particular case, the base is the radius and the width, or the height, is pi r. If I multiply r by pi r, I will end up with pi r squared. And there is our formula for the circle. Granted, you do not need to know where this formula comes from in order to use it. But having good numeracy skills means understanding where some of these fundamental formulas are coming from. That is all for now, and I will see you on the flip side.